Hi there, my name is Gabriel and welcome back to another EF Core 6 video. In this video, I want to walk you through the process of applying code-first migration to your application. Now, EF Core migration is a set of APIs that allows you to keep your database and your data model in sync. It is crucial that EF Core knows exactly what's inside your database at all time, because if it doesn't, it's going to make assumptions that will result in production issues, which you don't want. So it is important that EF Core knows what tables you have in your database, what are the names of those tables, what are the relationships between those tables. It needs to understand the columns you have in your tables, the data types of those columns, and so forth. Like I said, it needs to know exactly what's inside your database, and it needs to be accurate. Otherwise, it's going to give you a headache in production. Now, the way that EF Core works is that it has a list of conventions that it will kind of adhere to comprehend your data model. Now, those conventions you can overwrite with data annotations and configurations and all of that, but essentially, EF Core doesn't do magic when it tries to generate CRUD operations. So with EF Core migration, you're able to take a snapshot of your data model, and as it changes, EF Core can track those changes so that when you're ready, you can apply those changes to your database. And another nice thing about migrations are that you can take all of those changes and check them into your code repository, and your team members can get those differences as well and apply it to their local databases. So once you start working with migrations, you are definitely not going to go back to working on your database directly. I think those days are definitely gone. You want to use EF Core migrations to track your changes. So with code first migration, it is kind of a practice that all your data model changes happens first, and then you apply those changes to your database at a later stage. Okay, so in order to get ready or to get started with EF Core migration, you need to get the code for this video. You can do that by clicking on this link, and then once you have the solutions locally, you can open up in Visual Studio, and then open up or start. You can copy this NuGet package command. Go to your Visual Studio. Make sure that your default project is student app.data and install your NuGet package. Once you have done that, you can go and have a look at the dependencies of this particular project, and you will see that here we have our data provider for EF Core, and then we have this new .tools package, which is essentially our migrations package. The other thing I am noticing here is that there's a difference in version numbers. So let's just quickly update that NuGet package to the latest version or to the same version of our migration package. So I'm just going to click on that and update. All right, so now they're in sync. And what I can do now, I can look at my student context file, and in this file, I want to basically confirm that I can connect to my database, and also, very importantly, that I have specified my DB set. So the DB sets are basically your wrappers around your database tables or your domain classes that will inadvertently relate to your database tables. So once I've confirmed that in my data context, everything is 100% fine, I can go back to my package manager console and type in the following command: add migration and some text. So I'm going to say init script 1. You can call it whatever you want, but essentially that is just a comment that you want to apply to your script. So I'm going to press enter. And it's going to moan because I haven't included my .design package inside my API project. But I'm going to ignore that for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my .data project as the startup project and then run it again. All right, so as you can see, EF core migrations have generated a up script, which is the method that, so in here, all these changes are what is pending to be applied to my database. And if I want to uninstall any migration, I can look at the down method, and in there, it will basically do the reverse of the up method. Now, before I apply all these changes to my database, let's just have a look at the database. So in the previous video, we created a student database. And in the database, I think we added the default tables. So what we can do is we're just going to delete these tables. And then we're going to come back to the package manager console window, and we're going to say update database. And that is how easy it is to apply your migrations, because now if I go to my database and just refresh my tables, I will see that I have all my tables applied or created. The other thing that you want to see, that you will notice here, is that there is a EF migration history table that is automatically added by EF core migrations. And this table is used by EF core migration to basically keep track of what scripts have been applied and what scripts are still pending. So as you can see here, we have a entry. This is the file that this is the migration that we created earlier. In order to see that migration, I need to go to my data project. You'll see there's a folder here called migrations, and inside there, there will be a script. And this is the script that we had a look at earlier. And the name there is the same name as in my history table. And that is how EF Core knows what has been applied and what hasn't been applied. And that's how easy it is to add EF Core migrations to your application. And by doing the update and the add migration scripts, you can basically perform and manage your EF Core migrations. I hope this video was insightful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave some comments below this video. If you want to read more about, some of the detail about this video, feel free to read my blog post, as I do have a bit more detail about certain steps that I have taken. And yeah, thank you for watching. Chat to you in the next video.